Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another update 1.29 video. So today's video we're going to be discussing the brand new engine swaps that came along with the latest update. There is some very interesting ones. There's essentially 4 engine swaps that go into 5 cars, so I'm not quite sure what to title this video, but yeah, they are some very interesting ones. However, it does bring up the point that I've made for absolutely months now, that Polyphony really need to start making these purchasable. Having them so RNG and luck based is just massively disappointing, especially when there's so many like interesting swaps that you can do within the game, that hiding them behind the roulette and you know, specific tickets just seems absolutely unnecessary at this point. So hopefully this makes you aware of the engine swaps. They're never included in the patch notes or anything, but yeah, there is some absolutely awesome ones that have come along with update 1.29, starting with this one, the S14 Aero, which gets the C7 ZR1 engine swap. Have a listen to this. Overall, I feel like this is a fantastic addition. I actually put this straight in my Le Mans grinder, put all the upgrades on, and it was absolutely brilliant out of the box. Definitely requires some tuning to, you know, kind of fine tune it and stop that wheel spin. This thing definitely likes spinning up the tires no matter what gear you're in. You have to have a very light throttle, good decent throttle control, because it's just absolutely bizarre the way this thing shoots up. It is still only a 5-speed manual though, topping out around about 200 miles an hour from default, but the way it accelerates up to it is absolutely amazing. I can definitely see some awesome drift builds coming out of this thing with this engine swap. So, you know, if you had a go with this one, let me know. I personally absolutely love this engine swap. So let's get on to the next one, which is a bit of a two-parter. So we have the R33 GTR, which can now have the Le Mans, I believe it's a Nissan R92 CP, which is the kind of classic Group C Nissan that can now get that engine swap. This is the kind of two-parter one, and there is also the R34 GTR, which can also get the same engine swap. Personally, I couldn't get my hands on this one. I don't know anyone that has yet. I've not seen anything in my Discord or my YouTube comments about anyone swapping that engine in. I don't know if this is a brand new engine or it's in there previously. I don't remember seeing it in any of the previous updates, so I'm going to assume this is now a brand new engine that we can swap into both of these cars. So I could show you some footage of the R92 CP. As you can see, it is a proper Group C Le Mans racer, and it does make a fantastic sound. I could definitely see this engine being a bit of a handful across the board, especially in that R33. I recently reviewed it on my channel and it was a bit of a brute for kicking out. Although yes, they're 4-wheel drive and such, I could imagine putting this engine in will produce a lot of power for that car to handle. I could definitely see it being more controllable in the R34. I just feel like overall that is a better car to, you know, handle, you know, that extra power. I believe the build that I recently reviewed was putting out almost, I think, about nearly 900 brake horsepower. So putting this engine in should definitely be, you know, absolutely a pleasure to drive in that R34. I could imagine, since it's a, you know, a proper endurance racer, that the fuel consumption will be absolutely incredible. So I could easily see this working for the Le Mans grind and any of the other longer events. But I can imagine the performance points will be quite up there and would kind of basically require a lot of nerfing to get it under that limit. But overall, this seems to be a very good engine swap, being a proper track bred racer. It'll be kind of like what some of the BMW race car engines are like, where your fuel consumption just basically goes through the roof. Would it be too kind on tyres? I'm not quite sure. The 4-wheel drive system should realistically help you out with that. But yeah, this should be a definite fun one. If you have got your hands on this one, let me know. And what is it like? I could definitely see this one being a bit of a hoot. So let's move on to the next new one. So this is the one I'm actually a bit unsure on, because I know it goes in one of the Supra RZs, but I'm not sure if it goes in the old one, which is the A80, or the new model. Again, I believe this is a brand new engine. I don't think I've ever seen it in the game. It's the Pagani Hyuara engine that can now go in one of the Supras. If you could let me know if you've already got this one, which engine, which car it actually goes in, whether it's the old Supra or the new Supra. I know the old Supra is quite a powerful car, or the proper tuning car, so I'm going to assume it'd probably go in the older model, but I could definitely see this being a bit of a brute. Overall, I am not the biggest fan of the Huayra in GT7. Whilst it's definitely one of the best looking, craziest cars in the entire game, I just don't think it drives very well. And in terms of the feeling of power and such, I can't really say it's the most impressive in terms of the sense of speed and stuff it gives you in GT7. So maybe it's a bit different when you put it in the Supra. Again, this is another one that I haven't got my hands on, which is why you're just seeing the Huayra in the background. But yeah, it should definitely be a hoot for some people. It's essentially throwing a V12 engine swap in a Toyota Supra, which, yeah, quite a popular one if you've ever seen the top secret Supras. And finally, we have one of my favourite engine swaps in the entire game. This is the RE Amimya, I believe. Basically, the tuned up RX7. Absolutely awesome car. Goes for around about 100,000. And it can now get the Roadster shop Rampage engine in. And it basically, in its bog standard form with just the engine swap, can become a very controllable drift car. You know, I'm not the best drifter at all, but I noticed that, you know, in terms of getting this thing sideways, it's fantastic with this engine swap, and it makes an absolutely brilliant noise. Have a listen to this one. In my opinion, it's one of the best sounding engines within the game. The crackle, the pops, and just the way it sounds is so good. In terms of this car in general, I look at it and I'm, you know, constantly thinking, you know, it's going to be a rotary sound, and then the next thing you hear is this big brutey V8 engine, I believe. Absolutely fantastic one. Definitely one of my new personal favourites. This is quite an old engine swap. I believe the engine went in the DeLorean originally, and it now can go in this car, and I would certainly recommend putting it in this one because it becomes an absolute fantastic joy to drive, and just the way it feels and sounds is incredible. So that's going to be it for today's video, covering all of the new engine swaps within update 1.29. Definitely some interesting ones, probably nothing as crazy as the K20 swap to Bath. That thing was just absolutely ridiculous. I believe that was in the December one. But overall, there is some great ones. I'm absolutely loving the two that I've got, which is the Silvia and the Rampage engine one. Fantastic overall, but again, Polyphony, you need to open up that store to allow us to buy these engines, because people are missing out on so much fun just by putting these engines in, and considering the hidden behind look, it's not a very good system to get your hands on them. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn those notifications on so you don't miss an upload from me. I'm coming down with a bit of a cold yet again, sadly, so if my voice sounds a bit nasally, I do apologise. Hopefully that'll be, you know, back to normal soon. I'll see you all later on, guys. Have a great day. Peace.